Welcome to Yoga and You, a question and answer series where we have our dear Hansaji, who is the director of the Yoga Institute. Hansaji, it's very alarming and really scary actually, the number of child abuse situations that we've been listening to. What would you suggest the children do? What would you suggest for the parents to take care of? What is it that all of us as a community together can do to protect the kids and for the kids also to be a little more aware and careful? What would you suggest?
Well, this is a question which everybody should ask, that how could I help child, how could I protect child, how could I be constructive with child's growth in the house. I have seen family, child is in the family, father, mother, maybe both are going to work. That is one issue where we feel that when child is up to the age of 12, one of the parents should be spending more time with child. How much time we can always share, but yes. But the point is, if father is negative personality, angry type of a person, child keeps little aloof, child is always under fear, and fear creates a problem. And then outside he will find somebody like a father figure. So some friend who is little older, because he wants that father in somebody. I have seen cases where the older children, a child is 8-year-old and his friend is 12, 13-year-old. That 12, 13-year-old takes advantage and quite a lot of wrong things happen, abuses happen.
I guess also the older kids are at an experimental stage.
They are at an experiment, teens, right. After 12, 13, 14 they are at, but this child wants that person, he finds his father in him. In society there are all varieties of people. People are going to take advantage of such child who is not happy in the house. So this is one area where every family should be working and not talking differently, father different, mother different. No, for your child you should have the same opinion. Both have to share the responsibility and
be on the same page.
Yes, children should be encouraged to take up some extracurricular activity. Parents should really take personal interest in that. Even something like learning asanas, physically being very flexible so that they are fitter, should be there, definitely should be there. And learning other things, there are many other things, karates and this and that. I have noticed that those who are very good in extracurricular activity, they are very good in studies also. Okay. They are not dull, because then their mind is, they have learned to focus their mind, no? They are alert, agile, they are quick in management. Third area, education. Every child should know what is good touch and bad touch, what is right, what is wrong. Child after the age of 6, 7 maximum, before that the parents have to protect. But then child should know that when he is moving around with anybody, he should not be moving around just alone with somebody. He should always be in a group, sangha, group of children, friends, going with group of friends. That's one area. And they should be very, very friendly with their own parents. So in the house, there should be always at least 1 hour of session when whole family is sitting together and they are talking what happened in the school, how some child teased, how something else happened, how teacher shouted at somebody, and you should definitely listen carefully and guide. And father also should tell that how something he saw, that one child was pushed away somewhere and taught that this is wrong, you should shout, you should do something.
Right, to make the child aware and alert.
So some such stories, some such discussions are always going on in the house, so that child is getting educated. There are teachers are always like parents only. So you should go and be open with teacher also if things are wrong. So in short, child should be speaking, child should be expressive. There are some children who are not expressive, so they should have such friends who are expressive, because every child can't talk openly. So parents should see that some of his friends are talking type, who can talk, who can run and tell them this happened, that happened. because this is such an area where you should know what is happening. All these abuses are done very hiddenly, very quietly, hiding
And very
here and there.
often with people who the kids trust, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
So how do we really help the child understand the difference between who they can trust and who is kind of crossing their limit with their trust? How do we really do
You
that?
see, it is very difficult for child to understand at that age. Only certain disciplines have to be brought in child's notice, that after school he has to come home, and if he is playing with somebody, which area where everybody is there, separately he is not supposed to go with anybody.
Right.
These are few disciplines which child should have, but in the house they should try and do that. Parents should take interest in child's friends, and the friends and friends' families also should be called in the house, and there has to be more a community togetherness. Then it is much more safe. Otherwise, it is really very difficult situation for child as well as for parents. I have noticed are such schools where lots of students are there in one class, 60, 70 in one class. Those schools, how much they can do. They are going to have a session, education on what body is and how body can be troubled if certain things are done. Anatomy, physiology is taught very well. Scientifically, you have to teach them why you want certain part of your body not to be touched by anybody, because those are the areas where infection can go very fast, and that can affect your mind to such an extent that person can be mad. Once child knows scientifically these things, child would be very careful about hygiene part of his areas and so on and so forth. I always feel that every school must have a yoga teacher, where that yoga teacher is more like a parent to children. Here yoga teacher would take interest in different children, and they can see the behavior, and accordingly personally they can meet the family and go on. There are so many things with areas to be taken care of.
Hansaji, can you please, specifically for the kids, God forbid, if a child is in that situation or has already experienced it, what should the child really do? What are your immediate answers for that?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, every child should know he is not weak. He has tremendous amount of strength. We have both the strengths with us, physical and mental. So when person is into any of this situation, child can protect himself, can stand up, can shout, can kick, run away, can go to any other elder grown up person around when he finds that he can be helpful, trusted, should go and tell that, can hide, can avoid these violent people around. Child can do everything, but if child becomes helpless and gives away, then the problem. Child has more strength than even grown-ups. Child should know that you can face any situation in life, and so don't live under fear. Live under strength, positivity. Worst come to worst, what will happen? I know how to protect myself. So such stories also should be given when parents are sitting and talking, because many children have done that, and they have come out.
Right. So it's also the job of the parents to really empower the child to believe that they don't have to live in fear.
Yes. And even in school these things should be given. One class of moral education, or even in yoga class, these things should be discussed, and examples should be given. Child should know that he can also do that. That's the whole thing.
Thank you, Hansaji. So for all the children, parents, teachers, everyone, I hope you take the tips, and let's try to protect our kids and educate them, and really create a support system around them for them to have a beautiful childhood. Thank you.